Here we are. Are we live? Are we ready? It's Monday. Are you ready? It's Monday and I'm ready. What's up, fam? We're coming back here from the 4th of July weekend. And not so great news. Saylor, as usual over the weekend, dropped his vague, mysterious tweets about Bitcoin accumulation, strategy, whatever. Except this morning we learned that Saylor and Strategy sold $250 million worth of Bitcoin, I think last week at 60,000. Last week, 60,000. Thanks, buddy. At this point, I don't the plot is lost on me. I don't understand what the point of anything they do is. It's gotten so complicated now with all the different tickers that we have. Strategy, we have STRC, we have Bitcoin. There's just too much going on with it. Where's the plot? Have you guys figured this out? What is it? What's the plot? I thought it was supposed to be you buy MSTR and it represents some kind of Bitcoin, and then Saylor buys Bitcoin and you're supposed to get more Bitcoin per share over time. And then they started STRC, and STRC is paying dividends, and when it trades to 100, then they can buy more Bitcoin with that. But STRC is depegged, basically, and now they're selling Bitcoin so they can pay dividend. What is going on here? I genuinely do not understand. Maybe Saylor needs to go ask ChatGPT again how to make this whole thing work, because I don't get it. They're selling $250 million of Bitcoin below their cost average. They're selling it down. So far, Saylor has really bought Bitcoin on the way up to the all-time highs and then sold it on the way down. What is he doing? I really do not know. It's kind of crazy. Harmonic Fisherman coming in with the facts here. On the way up, we've known this. Let's be real. We've known this on this channel for a long time, that the end of this bear market was going to be a capitulation of these Bitcoin holding companies. Now, Saylor and Strategy have done this for a long time. In fact, they were buying Bitcoin, I believe, back pre-20K in 2020. So this isn't their first cycle, but there are a lot of other companies that jumped on the bandwagon, didn't have the same long-term outlook, kind of just jumped on the fad, and obviously they're going to go by the wayside. I think companies, don't get me wrong, maybe I'm wrong, Nakamoto, some others come to mind that are trading down like 99%, and probably a bunch of them have already sold their holdings. So this is where I'm at here. Saylor buys Bitcoin and price goes down. Saylor sells Bitcoin and price has been going up in July. Logic is out the window. This market behaving rationally just doesn't make any sense. I don't know. $250 million worth of Bitcoin sounds like a lot, and it is a lot. However, you compare it to their how many billions of dollars in holdings, and it really is a drop in the bucket. If we get a 3% down candle every time they sell $250 million, Bitcoin has got a really hard few months ahead of it if they're going to continue selling. I don't really think that this candle has anything to do with the literal selling. I think it is a reaction to Strategy's bigger selling. Now, we saw them sell 32 Bitcoin, literally a meaningless amount of Bitcoin, back here. I think it was in June, around 66K. Maybe I'm off. I mean, we've been waiting for this so long. Maybe it actually was back in May. I forget. It's been so long, I'm losing the plot myself. But we've seen them do this, a completely meaningless amount, but they did break the ice there, and maybe we should be thankful that they did. I kind of think that had we not seen that 32 Bitcoin sell, this $250 million worth, I forget what the number is. Saylor, what is the number? I have this pulled up. What's up, people over on TikTok? Say hello. Wave in the chat. Tap the screen. You found the right place. Where's my a tab open here, and it's gone. Saylor. Here we go. They sold 3,588. It's just odd. I'm gonna sneeze every day. Here we go. I got my traditional sneeze in. You might not be able to see it over on TikTok, but 3,588 Bitcoin for 216 million. Okay, not 250 million to fund dividends. As of the 5th, so they did this on the 5th of July, they hold 843,775 Bitcoin and 2.55 billion in USD reserves. So they gained 216 million, which was 0.21 billion to add to this 2.3 billion dollars they already had already. I just don't get the plot. I don't understand the strategy. Maybe that's why they changed their name from MicroStrategy to just strategy, because they changed it up and maybe they're not really sure what they're doing. That being said, let's fall back on some things we know about Bitcoin and should remember in times like these. One, Bitcoin doesn't really care about Sailor. Doesn't really care about strategy. This is in the bigger realm of things, doesn't matter really at all. It's what we have to talk about today. It's the only thing you'll see anywhere talked about on crypto today because it's the only news. It's the only news going on. But Bitcoin doesn't really care, and a lot of people are worried, well, if Sailor has to sell all their Bitcoin, it'll kill Bitcoin, and all these kind of fuddy, spirally concepts, guys. These are not real things. These are fear, these are emotions, these are runaway imagination. If Bitcoin could be destroyed by someone buying a lot of it, then it was never going to work, right? This experiment was over before it started. If buying a lot of it was going to kill it, this was never going to work. Bitcoin, luckily, is more resilient than that. This is not something that we need to worry about in the bigger picture. Maybe it's something that we're going to focus on or worry about in the next few months heading into the end of the year. But for now, it's really just not a huge deal. It's not the end of the world. We're all going to make it together. He sells it to you. Good. You should buy it up. Greg says MSTR's DCA on their Bitcoin purchase about 74K. Yep, and then they sold at 60K. A lot of that has been turned into leveraged derivative offerings. Expiry dates, who knows? Yeah, I don't know. So what do? They sold for, it's 19% loss. What is this? You might think that they would sell on the way up as price goes up. That could make some sense. That would be a rational actor. That would be something that we could look at and be like, all right, that I can at least understand that. But I don't know, selling 20% down now for some reason, selling under the 200 week, doesn't it kind of feel like it was a panic sell? Did it on the 5th of July? How could they have done it on the 5th of July? It doesn't even make sense. Wasn't it at 60? I just closed the tab. I'm not going to do the math. I thought it said somewhere that it was at 60K. If they sold the 5th, the lowest they could have sold was like 62 minus an OTC fee or something like that. That's not too bad. What's up, Jen Tripp? Thank you for subscribing over on TikTok. I'm just venting about Sailor. I don't hate the guy. I admire his belief in Bitcoin. I'm the same. I believe in it. I have that passion. Sometimes we get pulled away from it because price action is really all new people seem to care about. Really, it seems to be all we talk about lately. But there's more to it. Bitcoin is here for reasons more than just price action, and it will remain here because of those reasons. But we get to bitch about Sailor. Whatever he's doing, we get to bitch about him. What's up, Kai? I see you on Instagram. I got so many chats open. I got all the chats open. If you're on any platform right now, I want you to say hello. I want you to say, how do you do? So I can shout you out. We got quite a few viewers over on the tube. What's up, Trampus? What's up, Brent Kester? 𝐓𝐫𝐬𝐳. How do you even pronounce that? But why is the price not falling? He and Taco manipulating at 67K, buying 62. This is something that I love talking about because people hate it, but markets just don't care. Markets are not what you think they are. They aren't what you've been told. It's not they aren't what you think they are. They aren't what we grew up being told they are. Well, it's the buyers are this invisible force and the sellers are this invisible force, and they joust at each other, and then that's just not it. I don't have a perfect explanation for you as to why that isn't the case or what the perfect explanation. I don't have that. But I can tell you that it is not that. We can see it's not that. We saw a bear market from October. We've seen selling for 273 days plus. And in that time, how many billions of dollars has Strategy bought a Bitcoin? Billions and billions and billions. What did it do for price? Literally nothing. Bitcoin never rallied ever. They bought $2 billion worth of Bitcoin over the weekend. Nothing happened. They bought $2 billion more worth of Bitcoin the next week. Nothing happened. Bitcoin, they sell $250 million worth of Bitcoin and it rallies. Like, it isn't what we were taught it is. And what it actually is, if I'm going to give my best explanation, is just something more complicated. There's just more forces going on than simply there are buyers and sellers. There are many different market participants that are doing both, that are hedging both. And at times there's going to be these kind of rubber bandings of price action as leverage and derivatives options open up and kind of expand too much in one direction. And we see, for instance, maybe longs being opened on perpetuals and then spot selling, which drives the price down. You have these longs that are hedging them. And so there's no net change, but like eventually that needs to resolve. And so we see kind of the sloshing back and forth of these forces. There are many things going on, including all of the derivative exchanges that exist for Bitcoin. Are they honest? Are they trading only with the assets they have, or are they fudging their books, right? Fudging of the books could explain a lot of weird price action we've seen over the past. And let's be real, there's some exchanges that we're pretty sure do this. I won't name names. That we're pretty convinced do. And basically, as long as they exist, they're going to keep influencing the market at a disproportional rate. The good news is eventually those actors will get caught. They will get punished. I don't mean punished by the SEC. I don't mean they'll get caught and arrested. I mean the market will seek them out. The same way the market sought out FTX, it sought out a bunch of these actors that were operating in a non-solvent way. The market will find it. It just takes time. It's not satisfying. It doesn't happen on the timeline you want. But there will be a reckoning. There will be a reckoning if we're not already seeing it. If we didn't already see it, maybe we saw it at the top. Maybe that's what October was. We saw some kind of reckoning there where insolvency was basically called out by the market. Some exchange had to cover something. They couldn't cover it, and that caused a cascading effect. Crypto exchanges are way more intertwined than most people would be aware of or assume. Crypto exchanges at this point almost all operate with like the same backends, meaning they all have access to kind of the same liquidity pool. They have different faces, but a lot of them are really just trading the same books as others. And so these problems can be embedded really, really deeply and take a long time to suss out. And that would be maybe my best explanation. And that's just one of them. I'm sure there's a dozen more things that you could talk about here that would be similar or impacting on price. I mean, ETFs, are ETFs being honest? I don't know. Are ETFs really buying and selling for their clients the way that they claim to be? Are they holding the supplies that they claim to be? We don't know. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, and we're going to find out slowly over time what the truth is and how this plays out. But for now, we had a pretty solid weekly close on Bitcoin, despite Saylor being a sailor. We actually closed with a bullish engulfing on the week. Sunday, we saw a solid rally past the 200-week moving average, and for just about a second, I was like, oh, this could be good. We hit almost 64,000, closed at 63.5, and that is not only back above the 200-week moving average, but it's bullish engulfing, as I said. This is a spicy candle. It's probably the perfect counterintuitive kind of contrarian candle for us to paint here as we close the first candle under the 200-week, looked super bearish, closed back above it. Now we're selling off again. Like, this is maybe the perfect manipulation candle. That's kind of where I'm at. For this week, we do have a new support to be looking at. This chart's getting a little busy. Getting a wee busy. Let's just do this. We have a new support from last week's open at 59.5. Solid place to look for a scalp long if we test it, or potentially a take profit for a short this week. 59.5, solid. Our range low remains 57.7. That was unbroken. And a new local resistance. So if you're looking for an entry for a short, 63.5 may be it this week's open. We do pretty consistently see Bitcoin bounce around, especially over the last few months. at these weekly open levels. We tend to see it test both the open and the close of the previous week before actually making a move. And that could suggest that a short, as I said, from like 63.5 or even from the 200 week at 62.5 down to 59.5 could be played, and 59.5 potentially back to that 63.5. Pretty easy. Pretty easy peasy. Pretty easy. Geez, what do we got? On Wednesday, we have the FOMC minutes. So the first minutes, that's going to be interesting from 𝐒𝐻. I know you're going to join Wednesday. Got to be here. It's mandatory. Yeah, it's homework. Can we look at Hyperliquid? What's my opinion on Hyperliquid? You'd expect me, right, to be an expert. I'm not that much of an expert on Hyperliquid. I can tell you they are very likely not decentralized in the way that they suggest or promote. I do like the concept of DEXs in general. I think DEXs are the future for crypto and Bitcoin specifically. I think that more and more volume over time will move towards DEXs, but I don't really trust them. I mean, the same way we see Polymarket as like a decentralized prediction market, you look under the hood and it's just not decentralized. It's very, very much centralized, where it's just decentralized in name. Do I believe it's safe to trade on Hyperliquid? Likely I do. I really like the idea of trading from your wallet in general. There are problems with that. Overall, it's just not quite as efficient as on a centralized exchange. But I believe it's probably safe. I think the liquidity is not going to be the same as on a centralized exchange. So you're likely going to see more slippage, worse fills, more prone to kind of manipulating wiki price action that doesn't really favor leverage positions. But I don't have any gripes with it. I think it's all right. I think it's fine. As an investment, man, this is a big problem with everything in crypto, and I don't want to say it's a problem because it really is a feature, is anytime a coin does something, right? Oh, Hyperliquid, this decentralized exchange, this and that. It's going to be open source, and someone can just fork it, or they can just clone it. They can just start their own and take all of that. And if they can add any kind of improvement as time goes on, then it's a better product. You know, that's why we hear like, oh, Bitcoin's an old coin. It's old technology. Yeah, dude, that's how this works. Like, it is the open source of which everything was built. To expect Hyperliquid to remain, you know, as like maybe this number one kind of decentralized exchange thing, I think is not a good game to play. The same way people would have expected Ethereum back in 2021 or even before then to remain the top dog in whatever it is, you know, coins, tokens, etc. And, you know, that didn't last. Something took its technology, came in, was more efficient, and took its spot, basically. And Ethereum still does those things, but it just isn't the main source or the only source of those things anymore, and its market share dilutes over time and likely will continue diluting the same way Hyperliquids will. That's my kind of 10-cent take on them. Nothing really bad to say, just that there are some things that should probably be understood about them, right, before you make an opinion. Let's see. We're like 20 minutes in already. We're cooking, man. It's Monday. Did you guys have a good 4th of July? I had a pretty good 4th of July. I didn't really do much. I went tubing, and it was really hot. It was 110 degrees or something here. I got nuked. Who did the best thing? I want to know who did the best thing. But while we talk about who did the best thing, I want to know who's here. I want to see who's here in the chats. I got all the chats pulled up. Say hello. Don't lurk. Don't be a stranger. Let me shout you out. Let me see who's here. I want you guys to tap the screen. Can we get some more likes, some more hearts going on, whatever it is? Can you follow and subscribe, regardless of what platform you're on? Follow along. We're live here regularly, covering charts, covering trades. We've been doing this 7 years, and we're going to be doing it 7 more years, as long as you guys keep tuning in. So let's get a little hype going. I need some more taps. TikTok, we only have 100 hearts. Come on. That's zero. It might as well be 0 hearts. What's up, man? What's up, Bearded Wanderer? Bearded Wanderer. What's up, Quarter Crawler? Do I like XLM Fishy Finity? No more or less than, I don't know, kind of any given altcoin from that time period. No more or less. I don't know. What's up, RG Golf? Thank you for liking the stream. I appreciate you. And you, Fishy. Thank you, man. Ace of Hearts, Dodge Peach. What's good? Need a 5th after the 4th? You're not wrong. You're not wrong here. I could use a fifth. It's been a year, right? It's been a year. You can see Bitcoin looks like it's returning to that 200 week that it lost earlier this morning at 62.6. It was what I was saying just a minute ago. Let me actually draw this out. Make this a little closer. What's up, Brossman? Black Bull. We can talk about Ansem. We can talk about that coin here in a minute. What's up, Dub Base Mac? How you doing, man? 𝐒𝐈𝐆𝐍. Hacky Sack. Footbag. Are you guys watching the football games? Are you watching? Are you excited? Are you ready? Who are we rooting for? I mean, I guess the U.S., right? What's up, Loco? How you doing, man? Beyond Sport. Check oil. We will definitely check oil. We'll check oil. We're probably going to check oil second. I do want to make a statement about Ansem. Ansem. Dang. Nobody clipped that. It rhymes, you know? It just rhymed. That's why I said it. Don't clip that. We'll take a look at this. I'll rain on the parade a little bit. We'll definitely look at oil. What's up, Evil? Keep awesome. What's up, Ross Smith? You're late again? That's okay. We're early, so you're not late. You're on time. What's up, Prez Grump? How you doing, my friend? Mark Shadow Soul. We'll pull up Soul. Let me pull up Soul. Where is my Soul chart? Pull this over and just lining them up. Oil is definitely a big one. We got to follow up with our oil long. Let's see how that's doing. The oil trade, my friends. We'll do oil second. Not bad. Nice. Riven. What's up, Derek Merrill? How are you, my friend? Oil is cheap and finally filled our long position on Thursday. Pretty stoked about that. What's up, Jet? Mark? Cobe Top? Silent something. High Frizz. Need you guys to tap the screen. Send the hearts. Ansem, we're all in, bro. I'm not. Good luck with that, brother. Good luck with that. Yeah. Good luck with that. Where to start, right? I mean, let me see something. If you're in our Discord, discord.gg/TomCrown, you should be. It's free. You would have seen the screenshot I sent earlier. Make sure I don't dox anybody because this is nobody specific. So, I mean, I'm just surprised it took this long for me to see this in one of my little groups. Yeah. Took a little bit. Else, I would have thought I would have seen it earlier. My little influencer groups. So here is just definitive proof that there are people paying influencers to shill this. Literally, I could DM this guy and they would pay me to shill this. I have never in my 7 years live streaming, my 10 years of being in crypto, ever seen a coin that was paying people to shill it and it not rug. Like I've never seen it. It's never happened. This isn't just like some random screenshot I was sent. This is like I observed this, and it wasn't even the only message in a group that has a bunch of like crypto influencer people in it. And it wasn't the only person I saw actually soliciting after I saw it. There's proof. Like, I've never seen that work out. Why doesn't that work out? Because the people they pay them in the native coins. I don't know about this specifically, but this is how it works and how I've been offered in the past and turned down, is they pay you in those coins to shill it. And so what happens? If it goes down, or even if it doesn't go down and those influencers want money, they just sell it, right? They sell it and they take the price down. Starts dumping, they all start dumping. Like, they're going to get their money out. There just simply isn't enough money for everybody. You look at the liquidities there, you know, you can look at market cap and be like, the market cap's billion or million, whatever it is, hundreds of millions. But you can look at liquidity. I mean, maybe there's a few $1 million of liquidity. Maybe. Possibly. Yeah, everybody can't get out. The music stops and people are stuck with the bag, and it's always you. It's always retail. It's always everybody else who's buying it second. Buying it second, not second. Buying it, I don't know, when it's like pumping and FOMO. I don't want to dedicate that much time to that coin. We can look at oil and stuff first. What's up over there? Aurelius AM, what's up? Tax harvesting. There are some interesting implications. Also, the airdropping has implications. People who got airdropped the coin, they now owe money on, technically they owe income tax on the price, the value of it when they got it. So if they get airdropped at the top, they owe taxes on it like at the highest point, and they obviously can't sell it then. There is a scenario where you get airdropped something and you cannot get that money out. Like you sell it and you can't get what you owe on the capital gains tax. It doesn't really make sense. It shouldn't work this way, but it just does, at least for now. And think about that. There are people with tax obligations. They might not even know it yet, but they're gonna have to get it out. Giving coins away, I've always said, is a bad thing. I mean, we want it. We want free money. We want free coins, right? I want free money just like you do. But it's bad for the chart. It's bad for the long term, because you just make sellers that have no cost basis and potentially a burden to cover with it. And so they have to sell at some point, and if they didn't pay for it, they don't really care at what price, right? So they can just keep selling downtrends. They can keep selling things when they don't. It's a dangerous spot to be in. What's up with the Ansem? You're a fake Timberlake. You got me, BK. Fake Timberlake. Thank you. I mean, it's still a compliment. I don't know, man. Like, yeah, you might. I don't know what you want. Would you prefer, BK, that I go get like, I don't know, like look at me like 5 figures maybe of this to shill it to you, and then be like, you guys should buy it because they paid me? Is that better? I don't think that's better. Feds need to lower interest rates. I don't think it's going to happen, my friend. I don't think it's going to happen. How come Doge is top 10? Dude, Doge is an old coin. Yeah, why is it? Why not? Look at the top 10. It's all gibberish anyway. That's my opinion. Stack sats, I agree. What's up, Chris Pax? PLTR. We can look at Planeteer then. Let's look at oil here first. Oil last week finally reached my long entry, 67.82. Initially just put this trade up at 22% upside, looking at a 9% downside for like 2.4 to 1 risk reward ratio, targeting 82.85. This was the lowest daily close after the all-time high on oil. Previous support, it was tested in April. It was broken, but tested, held. And then you can even see back here in June, mid-June, when oil lost that level, it gapped down. For me, that's confirmation that that was a significant level, right? Significant horizontal. Pretty much just traded down to support. I think we're looking for a bounce, a retracement back to 82. I think that trade is still legit. I still think it's the play on oil right now. The long-term outlook of oil, I don't know, dude. I was ranting about it earlier. Markets just don't care. Markets just, they're not in reality right now. Markets are living a dream, just doing whatever, I guess. I would imagine that oil isn't going to get cheaper over time, as nothing gets cheaper over time, literally. It still hasn't traded back to its levels in 2022. I think that is the future for oil. I don't understand why someone would logically think that oil would like forever be cheaper in a world where literally nothing exists that way. I don't know. But this is my trade for now. I think it is logical. I think it has an edge. I think that is a profitable edge on this trade here. I think it's legit. What do you guys think? Funny, you buy imaginary stuff and you're gonna lose money, says Distressed American. I guess I could go into the philosophical and say pretty much everything you buy is imaginary. That is not physically in your hand. When you buy a stock or a share of a company, that's pretty imaginary. That's not a thing that you have. Even if you have a piece of paper that says it, that piece of paper just represents like a concept. We live in a digital world. I think we can say, are digital things imaginary? I don't think that that's fair. Imaginary is maybe not the word. Digital maybe is the word. I mean, people over on TikTok, they're welcome to like troll or whatever, man. I appreciate people talking on TikTok. This oil trade, though, I mean, here's some sick confluence too. Oil on the Ichimoku cloud weekly. I didn't even see this, but our 67 entry right on that weekly cloud. Typically, I don't like this thin erection of a green cloud. We do tend to see prices kind of drill through those as they trade to the right. Lots of examples back in Bitcoin's history of that. But cloud cover, a little cloud support here. I think that is pretty legit. The TK and KJ sit up at, what, 85? That's a little bit above the target. Weekly support, 87. I see nothing wrong with this trade. Of course, the best trades with all of the confluence, with all of the magic, I don't know, indicator signals that you're looking for. Wow, that's actually kind of fire here too. Look at this. Bottom of the monthly cloud. Look at that gap. That's bonkers, dude. Boop, right to the bottom. The trades with all of the confluence, all of the evidence, all of the best, whatever you're looking for, can still fail. You know, this is still a game of, I guess I'll say RNG. Trading's a lot of RNG. What's up, CJX? What's up, Josh, Gregory, Casho, Trevor? How y'all doing? People never stay in chat on TikTok. They just like move in and leave. Say hello. Oil will go down if economy is slow and low demand. I mean, I guess there's a lot of mechanics at play. You know, we can say that that's logical. I just am not convinced that markets work that way. But I mean, it's logical. But then wouldn't you also say as demand trickles off over time, which it should logically as we introduce better forms of energy, cheaper forms of energy, production would slow down, and then that might drive the price up, right? I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. I think oil has been kept artificially low for a very long time, much like silver and gold, and look what happened to them. This one just didn't break out quite as far. We should look at gold. My short filled, but it's still a little sketchy. What's up, 𝐓𝐫𝐞𝐰? How you doing? Stan, Carl Churro. What's happening with ads? Oh, I don't know. Maybe they're defaulted back on. Let me turn them off. You shouldn't get any more. Oh yeah. I don't understand. I didn't do that. I get it. They're trying to make their money, you know. They got it. That's how the tube makes its money. Gets its skrill. What's up, Matrala? How you doing, brothers? Strategy selling is manipulating. I mean, I kind of agree, Wick. Kind of agree. They sell and Bitcoin largely has gone up. They were buying and it largely went down. It's time to reassess, to reconsider what we think about markets. That's my opinion. Let's check in on gold. Gold was very exciting for a lot of people on Thursday of last week as it traded above 4,100, closed above previous support, retook that support flip to resistance from earlier in the week, opened higher today, but look where it remains. This is looking to be a really, really solid call on our part. Look where it remains. I talked about the literal entry at 4,100, but said it really can trade as high as this trend line. We haven't seen this trend line confirmed here. You can trade as high as the trend line, which is like a little bit above 4,200. I said we could even look to maybe move our stop down into the 4,300s-ish. But today's opening candle higher, yet not able to pierce through that trend line. I am still looking for another lower high. I'm still looking for gold to retest its low and trade lower. I just don't think it's got what it takes right now. I don't think so. Let's take a look more on the day. Lower lows on money flow. You do have some bullish divergence that's built on your low here. I'll give credit where credit's due. Ooh, I heard a subscriber. Who was that? What's up, Christopher Flores? What's up, my friend? I also missed Afternoon Chicken Kongi and LH subscribing during the live. Welcome. What's up, High Rise? Sailor Scorpio. How are you? Lily Reese Galmar. Call a spade, gold or sailor. I mean, I don't know enough about it to like say what it is or isn't. But I did spend a bunch of time today saying how it all seems really complicated and what I know about it just like doesn't really add up. That's what I'll say about it. But gold, looking for a lower high in my opinion. The structure of gold is just so reminiscent of all of the blow off tops we have watched on this channel, trading, charting live over the last 7 years here, it just looks like all of them. You have a parabolic run where gold just keeps heating up. It keeps heating up. It was all anyone was talking about at the start of this year was gold and silver. Gold and silver. Look at gold and silver. They're going up. It was just peak euphoria. It was a familiar, comfortable place for us to be. We haven't really had any of that in crypto lately. You saw a sell-off, a whipsaw here up at the top, a failure to retake that all-time high, a lower low, a lower high. I mean, you began the downtrend officially, I'll say, in April. But for me, what was it? As early as February? As early as February. This was blow-off top territory. Gold since then has just been unable to find bids. It just keeps painting lower highs. And the troubling part for me was more, where is it? Here at the 4,100. That's why I chose to go short. 4,100 was support, failed high, retested as support, failed high again. So even a lower high, and you broke it. So we have just hammered that 4,100 number over and over and over again. And each time buyers are just not coming in. They're bouncing price. Maybe that's just shorts taking profit, but they're not sending price. As long as gold, and I feel very confident in saying this, as long as gold remains under, we can draw this trend line maybe like this. Maybe like that. Maybe that's fair. Maybe kind of like this. As long as it remains underneath, I really don't want this trend line to go away. I feel like it's going to come into play eventually. As long as it's trading underneath this lower highs trend line, it's just looking for lower, right? It's just following the downtrend down. It's not that far from price. And really, I think at this point, 4,500 maybe invalidates it. Still is like not enough for me, but it's really not that far from price to get somewhere where you're like, all right, this looks different. But for the time being, this is my trade thesis, is that gold is bearish and gold is trending downward until it can retake this trend line. That's it. It's easy, simple. Eventually it will. It won't forever be under this trend line. But for now, I have no argument for the upside. I think the 4,100 is the play. The stop loss is going to be the tricky part of this play. And I think 3,500 is a very reasonable, juicy target. Basically looking back to untested April 25 high. April 25 resistance broken through. Did not look back. Bunch of inefficiency on your chart here. This is just the logical downside target. I'm going to have to really just see what happens to gold after that. There is a very real possibility that you bounce from 3,500, come back to this 4,000 area, and reject again, and maybe then you're actually looking to retest this major trend line. This is the trend that basically sent gold on its parabolic run, that sent gold into its exponential, its logarithmic rally, however you want to describe it. This is the trend line, this big yellow guy over here. This one, let's make it even thicker right here. As soon as you broke it, right there, gold went to do a blow off top. It doubled in the course of just a few months. Something that was unheard of for gold in decades. I think this is the blow off top like everything. We can see this trade sideways all year. I still think gold will have all-time highs in the future. I just don't think that those are reasonable right now. That's what I'll put it. Get out of here. Get out of here, you scammer. How do I do this? Let's mute. Nah, just block him. Boom. Done. What's up, Kevin? Thanks for following. Gold isn't scarce. I mean, gold is kind of manufactured scarcity. Gold is not as scarce as we think it is, but in ways more scarce than people think it is. The total amount of gold in the world that has been mined and processed is like not enough to fill an Olympic swimming pool. But then the bigger picture scarcity of gold is that in the universe, it's not finite. Like, it is probably unlimited. And even on the planet, there's a ton more gold. We just can't get to it efficiently. And as energy becomes more efficient, once we get into fission, once we get into real use of solar, I think those are like the two actual energy sources that are going to push us forward. The cheaper energy gets, the more gold we'll be able to recover from the planet, and it should drive the price of gold down eventually. I think that's too early to be pricing in or betting on at this point, but it's the inevitable future for gold. Like gold will become less scarce over time as energy becomes more abundant. And the future, this is a good bet because the future really hinges on energy becoming more abundant. There is no future forward for progress without energy becoming more abundant and more efficient. That's the only way we go forward. What's up, Coach Chris Villarreal Jezzy? What's up, friends over there? Keep tapping the screen over on TikTok. Let's see if we can actually get people talking over there. All the Bitcoin can be mined. Well, you'll never find, even though actually, you'll never find an asteroid full of Bitcoin. That is facts. There are asteroids out there with quintillions of dollars of gold at current value. That would just crash the market, right? We're not going to go get them now. That's not here, but that's just another kind of end of the road. The end of the road kind of thing. The future of gold, in my opinion, and this doesn't have anything to do in the next 5 years, 10 years, or whatever, even this year of its price action. The future of gold, though, in a bigger picture, is going to trend, or is probably already trying to do this, to its use. This is why I like Bitcoin. Like a reason I like Bitcoin as well is when something has a use, like a literal use, that is an intrinsic value that over time the market should peg to. Gold has a use. We use it for things. We use it in electronics. We use it in space stuff. We use it in whatever, jewelry. But that has a value. That has a defined value. And when things are speculative and not pegged to that value, they can appreciate more. I think that's largely what gold is right now, pegged to that speculative value. But over time, it should seek out that pegged, that correlated, whatever, literal value. And I think that's what it's going to do, whether it's via the energy topic I just talked about, or an asteroid, or a new revolutionary way to pull it out of the ocean. There's so much gold in the ocean. We just cannot, in any efficient way, get it out. We also, barring all those ideas too, there's a future where we can simply like alchemy gold. And I don't mean magic poof, but remove electrons and add protons to things and just make gold. If energy is free, then you can make gold for free. But you can't make Bitcoin. You can't make Bitcoin with free energy. You can mine it. No, I'm not going to go down that road. I'm not going down that road. What should we look at next? I'm rambling. What's up, Matya Schmid? Wick. XRP did hold $1. I was actually surprised. Super Save, what's up, my friend? He buys the top because he can sell, and sells the bottom because he must. It does feel that way. It feels that way. It's good to know he's one of us, right? He's nothing special. He's just one of us. FOMO buying and fear selling. It's comforting. What's up, Anja, Sem, Tony D, Larry, Ronnie? What's up, friends? What's up, Paulo Boyle? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. DBX, Michael Gaylor. Got him. What's up, Troyberg, Anja, Max, Mr. Dinkles? I have all the chats pulled up, and I'm just saying, trying to get everybody all at once, all at the same time. I'm multitasking. If you're out there, really quick, if you're out there and you haven't liked the live stream yet, if you haven't tapped on the screen, if you haven't hit the like button, do that now. Do it right now. It's mandatory. That's all I ask of you. Also, make sure you've subscribed. You've liked. There we go. I saw some hearts over there. Heck yeah. What's up, handwriting guy? Make sure you subscribe. Follow along. We're live here all the time. You don't want to miss the content. It's good stuff. Live trading, live charting for 7 years. I got all the receipts. What's up? I don't even know what to say of your name. X77. Of course I know who you are. But what, X77? It's not really a verbal name. What's up with YFI today, Kingpin? I have no idea, my friend. I imagine nothing good. Serotonin sent to heart. Serotonin. You a G. You the realist. What's up, power friend? You were just getting the exact number of protons. 3 protons difference between lead and gold. There you go. There you go. With only 3 protons. Just 77. All right. What's up, Sylv? Here to look at my shoulders. I did do biceps and shoulders today. Well, I did biceps, but then you guys always think my shoulders look big when I do biceps. Are we going to 0, Rav Lion? Going to -0, is my opinion. What's up, Cooper? What's up, High? -0 mostly. Solana had a little run. Solana moved right to $83 resistance, turned around. 75 as a potential entry here if we continue to see it sell off back to 83. The entry at 65 came and went. Perhaps there's new opportunities here. Looking left on the day, we have a bullish order block likely to provide some support on a back test of 75. Targeting 83, we can get a 2.8 to 1 risk to reward. That's my juiciness. I do like here the moving averages on the day. I like how the 50 and 20 are coming in to bullishly cross right here at 75. The 100-day moving average acting as support currently for these daily candles. There you go, trading view. The 200 coming down. I really thought the 200 was going to meet price at 96. As this comes down, it does kind of move that target down for me, potentially. But we'll get there when we get there. Price is holding the 100-day, and you could look for a scalp from right here, 80 up to the 200-day at 93. Stop loss below today's low. I don't like that trade. I think that's a low confidence trade, but it could be done. Solana really impressed me last week with its Bitcoin and Ethereum pairs. Let's see how they're doing. The weekend was a little retracement here for Solana against Bitcoin. It did hit a high, and it did break to a higher high. This is the goodness. I actually am noticing now that Solana BTC is probably very close to its yearly open. And I have been ignoring the yearly open as a level. I'm going to change this to this yearly open, 0014. I think we had 00148. So that's not too far. There we are. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I see why I had that there before. Solana against Bitcoin does look like it wants to retest its yearly open. We've been looking for an upside move since 001 hit. So a lot of this move is already behind us at this point, but that's still a 10% gain against Bitcoin. That's still substantial. From support at 001, that's a 37% gain. So that was actually very juicy. That was a very juicy entry if you caught that. But the strength against Bitcoin was a big factor here for me in looking for a USD long on Solana. When it's showing strength against Bitcoin, that's typically signaling it might have a counter rally. It might have a counter trend rally. If that wasn't enough, we also saw Solana rally against Ethereum. This is maybe not. Oh, this is looking better in some ways. Better in some ways. I'm actually gonna cheese this because I want a more. I'm not going to explain. I'm going to cheese this. I need this Sol Ethereum chart by itself. I swear to God, anytime I move the chart, when you do like move chart forward or backwards, 100% of the time on TradingView, it goes the way I don't think it's going to go. 100% of the time. Okay. So what I'm doing here is, these are okay. Caps. That's good. What I'm doing here is I'm going to multiply this by, I don't know, 10,000. Might not need 10,000. Wait a minute. Is it? I need more precision than 2 decimals. That's where I'm at. But I might have limited the decimals for some reason. Let's see. No, precision is default. All right, we're going to multiply that by 1,000 again. The reason being is on TradingView, when you do this kind of formulaic chart, when the numbers get too small, it begins to round. It makes like rounding errors or has trouble displaying the data because a lot of the volatility is absorbed just by the single increments it moves up. So I multiplied this by like 1,000. Precision. Give me more decimals, man. Give me 4 decimals. There we go. That'll do. So I can actually see these moves a little better. There we go. Okay, no major changes. Sometimes the charts really shift when you do that. This looks pretty normal. Okay. Solanaverse Ethereum is green for the year, unlike Bitcoin. So it has outpaced Ethereum this year to the upside. It has already tested the previous year's open, and it looks like potentially that is where it even rejected from on this rally. 22.7. Yep. I kind of like it. This was my first tip off, is when I saw the 𝐂𝐿 chart. This breakout was the reason I went and kind of looked deeper. Then I found the 𝐂 Bitcoin chart was also breaking out, and I said, all right, I'm looking for a long. What's up, David B? I see you over there. How you doing, Java? Adams, Simon. Any chance for the Dino coins, Jets? Maybe. We can take a look. I'm Big Krusty. You are a Big Krusty butt. This is retracing, but this is really not that bad looking. I think 𝐂 still looks pretty good in these pairs. Basically, 𝐂 looking just to retest that previous order block, potentially looking for higher highs. Maybe 96 is still on the table. I'm going to move off of 𝐂, though. I'm going to get just like lost in the sauce if I don't. CRC, what else should we look at? MicroStrategy short at 100. People were questioning this. They were not sure if this would work out Thursday. I think it's going to play. I think this is going to be our next great trade on MicroStrategy. 100. I don't know if we had 55, but I would like to see it. Swing it down. What's up, Chill Vibes TB? 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐫𝐿. Thank you for the like over there. You the man. What's up, John Martin? Coach Balder. Paul. Doge to do well. I feel like Doge is cursed by its success of the 21 bull run. It's a reason I'm a little skeptical on 𝐂. It seems when coins become the like sweetheart, right? Like the sweetheart of a bull run, they don't have great histories of setting all-time highs again. I don't know. Doge just cannot trade. I feel like I keep saying that, but it just cannot trade any lower. If it trades any lower at all, I think it's going to 5 cents. And if it trades lower than 5 cents, it's going back under a penny. It's going back under a penny. These are a lot of ifs. There are a lot of, we're getting ahead of ourselves here. Getting ahead. Oh no, I'm not saying like like how many cycles. I'm saying when it's like the sweetheart. Like everybody was obsessed with Doge in 2021. Then it didn't put it at an all-time high in 2025, or well, in this cycle. It seems to be a curse. What I realistically think is going to happen, I don't want this to happen, but like realistically, I think Doge is going to do what we see Litecoin, we see all these other coins. Litecoin was like the sweetheart of 2017. Never really broke its all-time high again. Is like fade around in this big old flag. I would like to say that I didn't think that was going to happen. I didn't think that was going to happen previous to October of last year, but that really just broke down the whole chart. At this point, 7 cents is kind of like what I got. I was really holding on to hope that we wouldn't lose 2024's low in August, but we did. Oh. Eardrums have been like clogged lately. 7 cents. I really want to see this hold. We can still look at like some kind of higher low from the previous bear market. But if you trade lower than that, I think you have 5 cents of support, and then you just have nothing. You have nothing until sub a penny. This move up was so crazy and inefficient that it is just not likely going to leave support. There's just unlikely to be any support there. It's like 1.8 cents. Where's 1 cent? I feel like 1 cent is the play. I don't know. On the week, it's not there. You got a shot. It just, I don't know. It's hard to be optimistic. This is really ugly. Like, this is super duper ugly looking. And it just reminds me of my other coins that were hyped and then never went anywhere again. I don't know. Let's do fart coin. What's up, Psycho Savage? There you are, brother. Slammed at work. That's okay. Holding it down over there on TikTok. I appreciate you. Give it some more taps. Did I look at MSTR? Bob, I did. I didn't really do any analysis on MSTR. It's just at 100 where we have been looking for a short. It's still there. I think that's still the play. I still think MSTR this is the play. You can definitely trade higher on like 114. Still can see something like this. But I still think this is the play. I'm short on MSTR until further notice. Especially with just everything seemingly going upside down with the business plan for what's going on with Sailor. Yeah, I'm going to wait for those C's to unroughen. What's up, Henry Crypto? Don't know enough about how moose make good decisions. That's fair. I would say that it's really hard to know how any markets really move. The bigger the market, the more random I feel like it becomes. SPX is still not back to all-time high. You guys think that SPX is going to all-time high this month? I think the S&P 500 is going to break to a new all-time high in July. What do you think? It's a pretty gross candle it closed. Even our boys, even our favorites, our golden childs, like SanDisk, are showing some weakness. It's definitely up here. This is like the hourly time frame, but looking very diamond reversal-y here. We have a sell-off. We broke market structure in July, starting in July. Broke down. And now, probably looking for like a retracement back to this trend, back to like 2,000 something. If it can't break through, that's just another lower high, and it then begins to paint a bigger, grosser pattern likely. Music is going to stop at some point with it. We'll see. We will see. But seeing these super strong performers not performing strong in July feels weird, doesn't it? Maybe it's all just waiting for the yen carry trade, though. I think a lot of eyes globally are waiting for this to resolve. USD JPY broke to, at least my knowledge, all-time highs. I keep seeing people cite like the highest level since 19 whatever. And I have not I've not been able to confirm that. Bonds, economy, unemployment rate, no. Currency index. How long do you have? Maybe I just need to use different sources. Only goes to 21. Thanks. What if I just do JPY? JPY only gets me at 26. Why? JPY futures 2007. What is going on here? Why is there no history that I can really look at here? $2010. What's happening? Saxo. Okay, this goes back to 2002. That's not enough. Is there not just like, what is the longest totalist historyist? A little bit longer. I don't know. No matter how I look at it, it's just like the lowest. The yen is the lowest against the dollar I've ever seen that I can find chart wise. What I said meant by resolve is it did break all-time high, or at least all-time high in many decades, but it has not broken out yet. What is up? How you doing, Mercury, Ogres, Trey, Randy? A lot of people just popped in over there. The yen has broken all-time high, but it hasn't broken out. It hasn't made a move, right? It's kind of like trading sideways at that high, and likely we're seeing the Bank of Japan doing some intervention. They're probably in crisis mode. As the move, or like the confirmation here, what you would expect is a breakout. You would expect a very rapid devaluing of the yen versus the dollar. that would be good for markets. And in theory, that would be very good, like maybe a 10% change. The yen carry trade would remain. People could still pay back their yen bonds or whatever, their loans. They can still buy riskier assets. But as that begins to slip, and as that does slip, you would assume the Bank of Japan is going to do something because they don't want hyperinflation. So they're going to increase interest rates. That's likely to hammer this back down. There's certainly a lot going on behind the scenes to keep this in check. But as long as JPY, as long as USD JPY is going up, markets should be going up. If it collapses like it did back here in 2007, all the way bottom in 2011, probably a sign that at least the yen carry trade will unwind, that we will say see risk appetite leave. What's up, Kevin? Kevin SG followed. What's up, my guy? What is up, Ed, my guy? Hidden Bull. All I know is to say aluminum wrong. Aluminium. God, I will say, I like day one, I said, no, you're just an idiot if you buy this. I will acknowledge that had you bought it day one, when I said you're an idiot, you would be up. That's not the first time. It's not the first time that I've seen this happen. Certainly won't be the first time that that's happened and then it's still rugged. But we can do a little analysis on Ansem. I know people have been watching it for the crypto world. Unless you guys got other charts you want to see. What's up, Lean? Dry Off, Lexus Moon, Emod. What's up, friends? These are Fib Tool. We don't have a lot of history here, but from the 4th to the 5th, this is in one day. Wow. Fib extension gives us 52 cents. I think I'll just call it 52 cents. That's a pretty big move from here, honestly. 45%. That's like all the analysis we can do. That's it. Like, that's all we got. Ooh, we have a daily level. You can say there's likely some support at 33 cents. We have an order block here down to 33 to 31. We can take a fib from the whole move, from the low. Though I know this isn't the actual low because this is when it was on MEXC. Like 10 cents is down here. I don't know. I would never buy this as a knife. I feel like you're just not an intelligent decision maker if you're looking to like buy something like this as a knife. I think the only play that you can do with something like Ansem is to you jump in it. You know the risks as you jump in. You know that you're probably going to get rugged. And you pick a target like 50 cents, you set the sell, and then you just walk away. Like, I don't think there's any other way to play it. Honestly, I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't touch it even if they offered me $20K to shill it for you guys. Boom, here we go, Bitcoin. I don't hate this. The price prediction for Bitcoin that we made earlier in the episode has now come true. Bitcoin has retested the 200-week moving average and now is trading above it. What is this? July's VWAP? Is this July's VWAP? Beautiful. That's beautiful. Bitcoin lost the 200-week moving average, tested July's VWAP, and then rocketed back above it. That is a nice little move. Look at this little V. The schmexy little V shape. I need to see 63 here. Retake the top of the V. You can't just stop here. It's still a lower high. You got Ansem at 9 cents, Randy. Bravo. You got out at 33. You're a king. You're a king, bro. What's up, Sugar? What's up, Steve? What's up, Binsky? Make sure you guys are tapping the screen, hitting the follow button. Subscribe. What's up, Mochi? Bitcoin retaking the 200-week moving average. This is the battleground for now. Unfortunately, it's not the end all, right? I would love to see today's candle close above the 200-week moving average after Sunday's weekly candle closed above the 200-week moving average. That'd be a good sign. But it's still just not out of danger territory. I want it to be so bad. Trust me, more than you. However bad you think you want Bitcoin to rally, I want it more. I want it to rally more than you. But as long as we're below the 200-day, I just don't see it. The 200-day moving average now at 74,000. When we were talking about it originally, it was at 83,000. So since the end of May, we have seen that come down 10%. If that decline continues, it's actually kind of interesting here. I know that there's a lot now going on with this chart, so it's getting a little difficult. Let's get rid of this on the day. It's getting a little difficult to see, but it is interesting that the 200-day moving average is essentially hugging this downtrend. The downtrend from the all-time high to May's high. The 200-day moving average is almost overlapped with it. Really, for me, highlighting the importance of that trend line. Retaking that trend line, very realistically, we are looking for bullish price action. While we're below it, like we currently are, very realistically, not looking for bullish price action. Now, we can definitely see rallies. We can see bullish price action back to this point. But even a single straight candle, like a God candle, straight up on Bitcoin in one day or even like 1 hour would not be enough. Like it still wouldn't matter. We could see a 20% day. Still wouldn't matter. It just needs to retake it. So far, we have seen Bitcoin sell off in this year, bounce weekly twice. Those bounces have brought us either back to previous support where it rejected. I'll say right here, previous support, 98,000 right, support, rejected, sold off, bounced back to the 200-day moving average, sold off, lost our massive grand trend line, the bear market trend line, established all the way back in the 2017 bear market. We lost it. We got a little bounce. Where did that bounce bring us? Right back to that trend line where it rejected. We hit a lower low. Like until we can retake the 200-day, I think that everything is just all short. I hate it. I don't want to short. I don't like shorting. I like shorting Bitcoin. It's the worst. But you got to do it sometimes. Well, you don't have to do it. That's not true. But I have to do it sometimes. That is true. I do. You don't. Where's this? I did open a short. Where did this go? Opened a little piece of a short again. Here we are. Right here. I can't see it on TikTok. Basically, I opened a little bit of short at the 200-week moving average. That was 2 days ago. 62.5. So now I'm underwater. It's on 10x. I'm underwater like 6%. You can get a better entry than me right now by being short. My stop loss set at the previous high. Maybe I don't have one. Rip to me. I'll have to set one. But basically looking to play that 200-week moving average. It's like, ooh, nice. Bitcoin making me a little less comfortable there. Popping. Let's go. Hell yeah. That is now a very beautiful, a very solid looking V-shaped recovery. Let's roll. Bitcoin's pumping. It's a little pumping. Do you want it to keep pumping? You think it'll retest the 200-day and drop back down? If Bitcoin makes it back to the 200-day moving average here at like 74,000, I'll open a short. I don't want to short it, but there's just no logic as a trader for me. There's just no logic. I'd rather short the 200-day and get liquidated than long it, like hoping that's going to keep going, honestly. Ripple Prime processed 16 trillion last year, but not in any XRP, Matt. Think about that. Yeah, if they do that on XRP, it'll well, what would overtake Bitcoin? Like the amount processed or something? Like the total transaction? Total transaction is kind of a weird metric, but I won't get into that. Too many buyers at the low 50s? I don't know. I feel like we trickle down to 50 and then we nuke through it and all those buyers all of a sudden aren't there. What's up, Shake? Add the Bishar. What's up, Pippi? How are you, friends? Fake out for the breakdown. Biddy is wasting time. I know it does feel that way, Ecto. I mean, we're right on track. We're still right on track for like an October bottom, October, November bottom. Maybe it'll be at Benjamin Cohen's conference where I'm speaking. That'd be cool. What's up, Pat? Do I draw my trend lines from the closes or the wicks, Pat? I draw them from the wicks. Personally, I think that that's the way that you should do it. I have really great videos actually on the channel you can check out on trend lines. There's more on the tube than there is on the talks, but there's a bunch on the talk as well. What's up, Sugar? How you doing? Crypto Stevo. Long or short SPX? Let's see. SpaceX. I don't know why I said SPX. SpaceX. What? What the heck? Why is there nothing on any of this? What? Why did this chart get wiped? No, we had a perfect long here. What the heck? How did everything go away here? I'm legitimately confused. We had a long on SpaceX from 157. Don't get too excited. From 157, and it was back to, I remember it perfectly, back to the 618 of this move, which it hit 165. And that was the last thing we talked about on SpaceX. Why is my whole chart gone? Because that trade slapped. Does not look the best, though, be real. Can you already feel that the hype is gone on SpaceX? It feels as if the hype was never honestly there. I was talking to you guys about that. Like, on the day of the IPO, the hype was insane, but it felt off, especially because the next day, like Monday, SpaceX was trading higher, but that hype was largely gone. Something fishy about it, isn't there? That's what I'll say. Something fishy about it. Bitcoin 4 hour looking crazy, dude. It's quite a move. I love where the move went to. Perfect, like super strong place to bounce. Right to the monthly, July's VWAP. Wick to July's VWAP, now back up. It's definitely going to encounter some resistance here. 63,580. Closing above gives us almost a three rising methods bullish setup. Almost. It's like a little weird. You don't usually have these closes so low, but whatever. We have 4 minutes left in this 4 hour. You're actually tuning in at a really spicy time. Bitcoin recovering very strongly on the day. I just got an alert on STRC as well. STRC hitting higher highs. Also looking for a little bit of a breakout. STRC, this is, I would never buy STRC, but this is a very strong looking V-shaped recovery. And we were even saying that at the end of June. I think STRC is going to at least get close to repegging at 100. I don't know if it'll make it all the way to 100, but I think it's going to get, I think it's getting close, especially right here. This is just like classically beautiful V-shaped recovery. Look at, when you invert it, it's like a perfect head and shoulders. Yes, STRC is moving back up. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's like when Sailor sells Bitcoin, STRC is going to go up. I don't know. Whatever it's doing, eventually it won't be doing that. We'll all get screwed if we just keep following, thinking it's going to be like a simple pattern. What's up above the skin? A Lego Spy Bitcoin going on up. Making you a little hot in here. I understand Elon just started to build the facility where the new AI Spance centers will be built. Blow my mind. Data centers are not what I think. I think data centers are giant chips, giant chip buildings, just like giant. I mean, the exact same thing as Bitcoin miners, like mining farms, or data centers. Really the same thing. To build them in space, I do not. I'm not convinced that we will be building them in space anytime soon. Elon has a track history of like making these real big crazy claims about stuff like we're gonna have a colony on Mars. He said we would have a colony on Mars. It's supposed to have already happened. And then those things not really coming true. Or at least haven't come true yet. I assume he's claiming that we're going to put data centers in space. Eventually we will, for sure. I don't think that's coming soon. There is a lot of issues and a lot of cost that go along with putting stuff in space. Realistically, we should put data centers in the ocean over space. The ocean makes more sense. You got to deal with salt and corrosive forces, but it makes more sense. It's free cooling. What's up, Larry? What's up, 𝐂𝐴𝐮𝐫𝐿 gingerbread man, gingerbeard man? How you doing, bro? What's up, all the TikTokers? You just tap that screen. Follow along. What's up, Texas Musa? Nodes on satellites? Sure, a node can be done very easily. We have a colony on Antarctica. Explain that to Elon. Yeah, when Elon started talking about Dogecoin and Bitcoin, it like the realization hit me that Elon has always found smart people to do things and then always like tried to kind of like be in front of it and be like that he invented it. Elon has never invented anything to my knowledge, has he? Like a single thing? Then welcome to correct me. XRP community, look at the most informed community. That's some big claims. I don't know. There's no reason for us to like bicker about it. Like the crypto space is so small. We don't need to like be enemies with each other. That's something I do not like about the Ripple community now. It's like the Ripple, the company, just has like a thing against Bitcoin. They like fund like anti-Bitcoin campaigns. It's very weird. We are too small of a space to do it. We don't need to fight between each other. We already have like everybody else calling us a scam. Yeah, we don't got to waste energy on each other. We're the only people who can be allies. That's how I see it. Bitcoin closing this 4 hour very strong. Not quite as strong as I would have hoped, but still very strong. Let's see. Momentum trickling off. But money flow remaining up here. Bear div on all these highs, unfortunately. I love where it bounced from. Joined from what's up, Reuven, Ghost Meech. Ooh, beginner FTX market like the live. Thank you, man. Yeah. Light years away. I want to play a song. I've been just jamming to this song. I feel like maybe TikTok will end our stream if I play it, but I'm going to play it anyway. It's by a band I've never heard of. Psycho Savage, you know that guy that's adding you right now, you know he's trying to shill. You know he's trying to shill, but the words are muted, so he can't. What's up, Lux Stage, Black Coffee? I'm going to turn this down so you guys don't get your earphones exploded. See how loud it is. It's an old song by someone named Oliver on I don't know, I've never heard of them before. And it's got kind of a retro-y, techno-y vibe, but I like it. There we go. There we go. Oh yeah. It's funky. It's real funky. Bum, 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 ba-dum. light years away. What's up, team? How you doing, Michael? Neuralink. Put it in my brain. Matt, you just said the XRP people are the most informed people, and then you said sailor to buy XRP with Bitcoin sales. Contradicting yourself here. Gotta call you out on that. Bum, 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 bum. Light years away. It's just groovy. I don't know. STRC is pumping. What's up, Ronaldo? What's up, Ronaldo? How you doing, my friend? If you're looking at, want to know where this is from. This guy. Just some random channel on YouTube. 1,000 subscribers. Shout out to Oliver. All good, Matt. I'm just playing with you. What's up, Stocky? Where are my gains, Ecto? I was at the gym today. Today. What's up, Levy? I couldn't go to the gym for a while because I had the surgery. Just getting back into it. Okay, all right. What's up, Fatima? How you doing? Merukin. Oh, all 589. I want it. What's up, Jets? I hope Sailor did sell the bottom. I hope he sells a ton and it's the bottom. What other random crap can we look at? Light years away. Near might be breaking out. What's up, Bless? Light years away. Stopped me out. Now it wants to rally. Near kind of just looks like it's at the top of its channel again. Light years away. 𝐂𝐴VE. It's an old chart. Does not look good. Oh, this song's so funky, dude. I gotta go to another rave. Speaking of that, but not related, I will be on vacation. This is the first time I'll tell you guys. I'm leaving next weekend. So all next week, I won't be here. I know. It's the first time I've ever taken off like this, ever. 7 years streaming full time here with you guys. I've never taken that much time off, a whole week. I'll miss you guys. Hopefully you won't miss me too much. Master Benny over on Instagram. I see you, brother. Probably gone by now, but I saw you. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. All show. Yep. Last summer, I took like 2 days off, but I didn't miss any streaming days. But I've never taken any time off since I started this channel 7 years ago. Combat Vet, we all know that if he was ever going to sell, he was going to sell at the bottom. We all knew this. We knew this forever. My channel stats are all of crypto. Terrible. Oh, here's more by this guy. I haven't heard any of his other songs. Maybe we'll give it a mix. This is kind of funky too. I think all of this music's really old though. Now this one's only a year old. Never mind. I stand corrected. Okay. Okay. I'll allow it. Bull market is back. Revenge. Let's go. Huh? Google Trends. It's trending up versus April, May, which was like crazy low. That's web search. YouTube search has been trickling off since March 24. The meta's on my mind. Okay. Not good. All right, this could play. This could play. The meta's on my mind. Let's go, Bitcoin. 63.5. Let's go. Looking at that 4-hour close. All right, Oliver. Mr. Twist. Give a shout out to your man, Mr. Dinkles. How you doing, Mr. Dinkles? Bitcoin breaking 63.6 right now. My short might be in trouble. They sold an average of 60.2K. That's what I thought. That's what I said earlier. I thought it was at 60K. Somehow, though, how did they do that? They sell this on the second, maybe? No power at your house. Got a power generator to tune in? You're a G. You're a G, my friend. I hope you're doing all right. I know a lot of people around me, the power's out too. A lot of crazy storms. Be safe. Something could happen, Tom. I'm sorry. Trump has used all of his goodwill assumption, especially when it comes to crypto for me. I welcome it. I'd love to see it happen, but am I gonna get excited about it? I'm not gonna think it's actually gonna happen. That would be funny if Sailor bought it right back, just at higher for no reason. Trade with AI too. Sorry, bro. I'm not gonna give you my birthday nuts. Crazy doxing. Appreciate you though. You guys just arguing about XRP over here. He's silly. He's silly. We have enough enemies out there, man. The whole world is against crypto. We don't have to fight. We're not gonna change each other's minds. We all have our own opinions. That's okay. Yield of 5K at 14 cents. You're doing well, Combat Vet. ADA. We had that exact long here. Target of 24 and a half cents. Actually, yeah, 14 cents. It is looking a little sketch though. Broke a higher high. Looking for some retracement. Can't even look, Rory. We won't look. Don't worry. Bitcoin's looking pretty good though. I'm actually surprised. I'm very surprised. July so far has been a strong month. So far it's been only up. Did we ever figure out when's 𝐂𝐽 making that podcast? Is he just not making it? Is that what's happening? Bum, bum, bada, bum. This is different. It's not bad, but it's different. This one's still Oliver. The meta's on my mind. I kind of... Okay. Okay. Bitcoin's still going. It's a hell of a move. Already retraced the entire Sailor Cell event. Guys, I got to remind you, make sure you're tapping the screen, hitting the like button, subscribing, following. We have the FOMC minutes on Wednesday. You should tune in 1:45 East right here. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Keep hearting. F looking strong. So close on Ethereum versus Bitcoin. So close. I can see it. The 3-month is super worrying, but 1.822. Super worrying. Nice weekly close on Ethereum for sure. Double bottom at 1520. Got a lot of resistance to get through. What's up, 𝐂𝐚𝐫𝐭 𝐎𝐧𝐑? 70K, sure. That's what I was saying about Bitcoin. You can go as high as like 74 and it isn't really getting us anywhere. Sucks. Honestly, I feel like the more Sailor sells, the more bullish it is. I really do. If him buying wasn't bullish, then him selling. If his buying was bearish, makes sense. That selling would be bullish. I don't know how. 80K would get us somewhere. 80K would get us somewhere potentially bull market-ish. 80K would. I think. It wouldn't guarantee it, but it's like I would start like allowing the thought of being in a bull market again in my mind. 80K doesn't get us above May's high, so it'd still be a lower high after a lower low. It'd still be a downtrend, but it gives us the potential to come back and hold the 200-day as support or trade sideways, have the 200-day begin curling up. Potential. I would say like above 83, 82, 83, like if totally taking this high back would more kind of concretely put us in an uptrend. But anything above 45, 74, things can look up. Underneath, we're looking down. Okay, boys. Bitcoin, I guess is like still going. Okay. It has retraced the entire Sailor thing today. You just smashed 500 hearts. I saw it, Dr. Crypto. I appreciate you. I saw the hearts. I see them coming in still. You're a G. Love you guys. Randy, 50 MA. On that day. 50 MA on that day. Today back tested the 20th support. We haven't held the 20th support since May. CIA must be buying. Sure, go for it. I don't give a shit who buying. Sailor, CIA. I don't care. Ooh, we closed a little, it's not a death cross, but a bearish 5100 weekly cross on last week's close. Okay. Sure. October hosed your swing trade. Yeah, dude, it wrecked everybody. The Fed's gonna pump 9 billion into markets. Matt, are you thinking about the thing that happens like every week? Like 9 billion's nothing. 9 billion into markets is nothing. It's not even a drop in the bucket. It might as well be zero. But that like Fed liquidity injection thing is like not something that is like about to happen for like the first time. Like it's something that like has happened. I think it's every week. It's every week or every month, like as far back. It's like not it's nothing. It's another burger. I know what you're talking about. I see like the same account always posting it, and every time I see it, I'm like, dude, it's just like the same thing. Every week you post this. And it's like you posted like trying to like trick people into thinking it's like something special and like meaningful. I forget what account it is. It's not though. It's sillies. All right, my ADD is kicking in. We've been live 2 hours, almost 2 hours. Bitcoin's recovered all of Sailor's FUD candle. I guess keep selling, Sailor. Continue selling. Yeah, 100 trillion stock market. 5 billion is like literally zero. Might as well be zero. All of Sailor's FUD candle, I guess keep selling. We're going to be live on Wednesday for the FOMC minutes. Tune in here on youtube.com/TomCrown. Sign up with our exchange partners in the video description below and in the Discord. Discord.gg/TomCrown. Let's have a Reson. Join from the post. We're just signing off here. Discord.gg/TomCrown is free. Jump in there. I will see you guys very, very soon. I appreciate you tuning in. Hope you had a great weekend. Keep the good vibes.